Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So today we'll start our unit 2 for SAP ERP Basic and Navigation. In this, we'll see how we can navigate into the SAP system. We will see about, we'll talk about user interface. So basically we have two different user interfaces. Number one, graphic user interface, and then second is Fury. SAP Fury is a web-based application. For that, we just need the web browser. Then we'll talk about concept of SAP. I believe we'll see what we have inside. Then we'll talk about some business warehouse concept, reporting, and then we'll see some new functionality that comes into our SAP. So in navigation, this is the starting screen of our SAP software. So this is how it looks like. So whenever you log into the system, you will come on this screen. Then we have this screen has different features. So if you see on the top, this is our command field. This green button is an OK button. So here you can type the commands like open a new session or open a new transaction. So you can type in the command name, the transaction name, or you can say transaction code and then press enter, it will execute that one. So we have different kinds of application toolbars. So this is our menu toolbar on the top. Application toolbar or standard toolbar is the second line. Then we have application toolbar. This is on the third line. So menu toolbar, standard toolbar, and then application toolbar. This is the third one at the bottom. Then we have, these are the tabs we all knows about, and some status. This is the status bar. You will find some information about the program which is being currently executed, the username, the server name, how much time it takes to access this screen. So this general information is available here. All the messages, warning messages, error messages, or success messages, they will come on the left side of the status bar. So this is the screen structure. Now, if you see here, we have some messages, system messages are available on the left side, and system information is available on the right side. Interestingly, you can see this OBR button. This is overwrite. You know, if it is on, then anything you type, it will be overwritten. If you click on that one time, it will change to insert, INS, and then it will start inserting the text wherever the cursor is. So we have like the information which is displayed on the status bar is system name, client. Our client will be 408, inshallah. And then we have a username, program name, transaction response time. So all the system information is available on the status bar. On the right side, remember this thing, on the right side, there's an arrow. If you click on this arrow, it will go up, and then you can see all the information. This is our, this button, if you press on that, it will close this one. And then if you click back again, it will open the information on the status bar. We have like system menu. You can see here, you create session. So if you click on that, create session is like, okay, shortcut is Control-N. So maximum you can create 6 sessions. So if you try to keep on creating sessions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you will get a message, maximum limit exceed. So you can open different transactions in different screens. Favorite list, very interesting. If you're using, instead of going through the whole deep into the menu, you can just create a shortcut for that, make it a favorite list, so it will be on the top. Just double click and this will open the program for you. And
This session is like forms.
this session,
Session is like forms. मतलब आप multiple मतलब 6 forms open कर सकते हैं एक time पे.
six screens. ये जिस तरह की ये screen नजर आ रही है, we can have 6 different screens. In that different screen, you can open different program. I mean, whatever you can do on this screen, you can do on 6 different screens as well.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah. Now we have, again, a menu, command field, command button, where you can type the command and press enter. And this is like a SAP easy access menu. You know, if you see here, yesterday I think we talked about logistics, accounting, and human resource. If you can see here, we have like, let's see if I can increase the size of that. You see here, we have logistics, accounting, and human resource. So there are 3 main pillars of an ERP. So, and logistics has everything, you know. You can say that our material management and inventories and warehouse management, production, any sales, material management, all assets, enterprise management, everything is available in the logistics. We do have like a facility for the role-based menu. This is like maybe application-based menu. Then we have online help available. If you can, if you need some help, go for the online help, help.sap.com. This is another help that if you want to know what this field is doing, just click on that field and press F1. So F1 will bring you this screen that can help you, that can tell you what this column is about. So very interesting part, especially for the developers who really want to know what this SAP system is doing. This can really help you in that part. And then we have, if you click on this button, this is another technical information. This is also very interesting part. You can click on that. Inshallah, in the case study, you can have a look on that. We have field information, and then we have some technical information. So you will learn more about it. Another type of help is F4. So we talk about F1, and then we are now talking about F4. So 2 different helps. F4 will bring the list of values. If you see here, we got a list of values when we press F4 in this column. So this column was for languages. Now, if you see, we have many languages available, and you can pick one of the values. So F4 is for list of value. So possible available values are displayed, and F1 is for the field help, information about the field. Perform navigation into the SAP system. Let's see what we have. Personalize the SAP GUI. You know, you can once we logged on to the system, now we have the option to you know, personalize this one. For example, if you don't like this color, you can change the theme of this GUI. We can display technical name. Technical name mean the transaction codes. For example, I want to display material. So what I need to do is I can go to the whole menu and then click on that transaction. So, but if I know the name of that transaction, for example, displaying material, the transaction is MM03. So I can just type the name of that transaction. Now, by default, sometime you will see that transaction name is available in the menu list, and sometime it is not available. So we do have an extra button here. You can click on that, go to the settings, and then you can display the technical name from here. So this, inshallah, you'll do in the case study, which we will have. And then now let's see the concept applied across SAP ERP application. So we'll talk about system-wide concept. What is this organizational level? Okay, we have, this is very interesting concept, you know. If you see, this is what we call SAP terminology. And here you may find business terminologies, okay? So for example, we call an enterprise an enterprise, okay? Or a business. So this is enterprise in the business world, but if we talk in SAP terms, we call it a client. In our English language, client means customer, but in English, in SAP, client mean the organization who has implemented the SAP system. So basically that organization is a client for SAP. So this client is a 3-digit code. When you log on to the system, you specify which client you want to log on. So this is client information, technical information in SAP, and enterprise in the business world. Now we have like European concern, North American concerns. In the business, we say operating concerns. Okay, 2 different operating concerns are available, but in SAP language, we will call it a controlling area. So in Germany, okay, in Europe, we have like 2 companies, one in France, one in Germany. So in the business term, we will say companies, and in SAP term, we say company code. So when I talk about company code, means I'm talking about a company. Okay, this company code is interesting part from accounting point of view. All our accounting happens on this company code. If this company code is missing, we cannot do any kind of accounting for that company. So this is interesting from this point of view. Then we have different organizational units, you know, in your company. In the different organization unit, we have different positions, you know, where the employees are, which employees occupies those positions. We have sales organizations, you know, for example, if we have like 2 sales point or sales organizations, one might be in Karachi and one might be in Lahore or Islamabad. So there are 3 different offices. So you can say we have like 3 different sales organizations, and every organization must have a division, and at least 1 division for every sales organization is must. And similarly, I think they didn't specify here the distribution channel. Every sales organization must have at least 1 distribution channel. Either it could be internet sale, or it could be wholesale or retail, you know, we have to specify. Then we have plants, and we call it, in our business term, we call the plants, okay? In SAP also we call the plant, and every plant has a related storage location. So these are the SAP's terminologies, and these are our business terminologies, or you can say that. Guys, any question? I didn't ask you for any question, so please stop me wherever you have any question. So any question regarding to this?
नहीं सर, मुझे तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, बल्कि मेरा अपना जो मैं ERP इनिशिएट कर रहा था उसका भी यही स्ट्रक्चर है, पर मुझे एप्रोप्रिएट नेम नहीं मिल रहे थे कि मैं क्या नाम रखूं। ये फर्स्ट टाइम है कि मैं इस ऐप को, इस स्टडी को देख रहा हूँ, और यहाँ से मुझे नेम मिल रहे हैं कि मैं अपनी ERP को भी यही वाला नेम दे दूंगा।
माशाअल्लाह, माशाअल्लाह। जिब्रान, 500 रुपये बढ़ा दीजिए इनकी फीस में।
ठीक है सर, कोई मसला नहीं है, मुझे अब ऐप बस करवा दें आप फिर अपना।
I'm just kidding. Okay, now we have to
ये अपना ERP बना लेंगे तो उसमें हम अपना कोई हिस्सा रखेंगे।
That's a good idea. I was a bit cheap, you know, Gibran, but you did a good smart move. Okay, so we talk about, now if you go back, we talk about organizational level, okay? So if you see here, we have organizational level. You can say that, yeah, these are different organization levels, okay? Now, every level, we have different codes, okay? Every level, for example, this one has a code. Every level has a code. We call that code organizational data. Okay, so every plant has a code that is organizational data. Any data that belongs to any organization level, any any department of the organization, we call it organizational data. So remember this thing. This is must. So now after organization level, we have master data, and then we have transaction. These are the three types of data that you will find in every module, whether it's accounting or managerial accounting or material management or what you call it, production or sales organization. You will find everywhere these three. These three datas are must in every module. Okay.
मास्टर डेटा का क्या बताया आपने?
These three datas are available in every module. We'll talk about the master data, inshallah. So organizational data is clear, and now we'll go to the master data. Another thing I said, all three are must in all modules. I believe if I say in project systems, I believe we don't need, if I'm not wrong, we don't need the organizational level data in the project system module. When the project system module will come, inshallah, we'll look into it. Now, so we talk about the organizational data and any client and the company code, and you see the sales organization and the plants and all those things. So this is there, but now we are talking about master data. So master data, you cannot have a master data if the organization data is not available. So you can say that this is kind of a lazim or manzoom. So you want to create customer master data, you must have to have organizational data, because different informations are stored on different levels. For example, the name and the address and the language is stored on the client level. Similarly, we have accounting data. Accounting data is stored on the company code level. And similarly, we have, because we are selling the item to the customer, so the customer must be registered to at least one sales area. And when I say sales area, this sales area contains three things. Number one is sales organization. Number two is distribution channel. And number three is division. So if I say sales area consists of three things, so number one is sales organization. Number two is distribution channel. And number three is division. Okay. So now I have a question. Can I say that I am storing my customer information on three different levels? What could be the answer? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm storing my data on three different levels. Okay. So the client level, anything that I stored on the client level is available everywhere. Is available everywhere. But if I want to see the company code data, I have to enter the company code. Otherwise, this information will not be displayed. And similarly, if I want to see the sales organization data for that same customer, I have to enter three data. Now, can you guys please help me in figuring out what are the three data that I have to enter to display the sales organization data for that customer? Number one, division, very right. Number two,
Distribution channel.
Distribution channel. And number 3 is the sales organization. Okay, so sales organization, distribution channel, and division. So at least if you want to use the sales and distribution system, you must have at least one sales organization. You must have at least one distribution channel, and you must have at least one division. At least, then you can use a sales and distribution system. Otherwise, you cannot. Now, I have another question. Please tell me, is client a master data or organization data?
Organization.
This is an organization data. And how about company code? Company code is an organizational data. And similarly, we have sales area. Okay, sales area itself is nothing, but it is a combination of 3 organizational data. Sales area is a combination of 3 organizational data. I would request you guys to write down in a chat what are those 3 organizational data which sales area comprise of. Please write down in a chat. Okay. Now we have another master data. Master data, that is material master data. So same as client, same as customer master data, which is stored on different levels. We have the material master data that is also stored on different levels. So the basic value or the default values or general data, you can name anything. General data or basic data is always stored on client level. Okay, if I go back, if you are in the company code level, so you can only see the company code data. You cannot see the sales area data. Okay, but at the company code level, you can still see the client data. So at one point in time, you can see both data, okay? The company code and the client data. Now you shifted to the sales area data. So when you shifted to the sales area data, this is not visible, guys. You cannot see the company code data, but still you can see the client data. So this client data is available with the company code, and the client data is available with the sales area. Is that point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now we have material master data. So in the material master data, we have a client. Okay. On the client, we have stored all the general data about the material number, material description, material weight, whether it's ounce or kilogram or pieces, material price, all the general information about the material is stored on the client level. Now, we are selling this materials. Sorry, we are selling this material. Yes. So we have to have material has to have a sales organizational information as well, and the distribution channel as well. So in this part, we will be talking about the delivering plant. Now, this is this plant is very interesting, this delivering plant especially. You have a manufacturing plant and you are selling the items from the same plant. Oh, that will become the delivering plant. Okay. Now you are having a shop. So you purchase you manufacture the material on a plant, you took it to the shop. That shop is a delivering plant now. So, so wherever you find a delivering plant, basically we are talking about a place where we sell the product. It could be a manufacturing plant, okay? But from the sales point of view, it will be a delivering plant. So text category and sales. So all these informations are available. So some informations are available on the sale organization level and the distribution level. Now come to the plant level. So we have some information that is stored on the plant level. The value of the stock, some planning parameters, you need to run for MRP, MRP run. You have some parameters for that. For example, when you are doing the MRP of that product, whether this product is available for our as a raw material for our manufacturing. If the answer is yes, it's okay. Otherwise, it will process and it will let us know whether we are whether we need to purchase this material from the market or we need to manufacture. So all these parameters are set. So it will create the purchase requisition accordingly, or it will create the plan order for the manufacturing of that particular raw material. So all these raw materials are available here. Information is available here. Then we have like the storage location. Okay, so this is related to the plant. So for a material master, we are storing information on 4 different levels, but actually we are storing this information on so many different levels. I'm not sure whether it's true or false, but I heard that SAP Material Master table has like 600 columns. So I'm not sure whether how much true is that information, but that is what I heard. So because it has maximum screen, and this Material Master data is available almost everywhere. So when you will do the case studies of material planning, Material Master, then you will see that how many screens we have for this material. Give me a second, guys. Sorry for that. I got an uninvited guest, so I have to attend him. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now we'll talk about. So another example of Material Master data is like, personnel record. So we have, this is an organizational unit, with a department name, customer service center. We have different positions available for this organization unit. We have and then positions are occupied by the person or the user, So these are the organizational data. Then we have this is the master data for the human resource. And by the way, SAP has a different name for the human resource. They call it human capital management. Instead of HR, they say human capital, but now they change it to success factor. So they keep on changing the name. People get confused, Now we come, okay, so we are done with the transaction data. We are done with the master data, and now we are coming to the transaction data. Okay, I have a small question, guys. Now, what is the definition of a master data? Any idea?
हेडर डेटा से मास्टर डेटा कहलाता है.
Header data is a master data, or master data, can we say that is a long-term data that we can keep it for a long time?
Yes sir.
Master data, we can keep it for the long, and it's rarely changes. For example, if our customer, one organization is a customer, so their address will hardly change, their name will hardly change, their telephone number will hardly change. Maybe once a 5 years, 10 years, maybe there's a small change in the address or something like that. It could be possible, but it rarely changes. Okay, so master data changes, but rarely changes, and it's for the long term. But transaction data is only for one time. Okay, so we can have a transaction only for that particular time. An example of this transaction is, for example, you went to this supermarket and you purchased one item. They gave you one invoice, and you will pay for that invoice only one time. You will not pay for 2 times. For example, you go to the supermarket and you purchase a milk. They'll give you a receipt of milk, and then you'll pay for that. You need another milk, so they will give you another invoice. So every time you go for a transaction, you will get new transaction. So they will not be using the same invoice again for your another purchase of milk. So now this transaction contains 3 different types of data. Number 1, it contains the organization data. Number 2, it contains customer master data. It contains master data, organization data, master data, and then it has a 3rd type of data that we call situational data. Now let's see, organizational data is available on the right side. You can see the company code and the sales organization, distribution channel, and the division. These are our organizational data that we are using in this invoice, the transaction. Now we are selling this item to the customer, so we are receiving the information of the customer into this sales document. Maybe the customer name, the customer ID, the customer address. Then we are selling this material, some material to this customer. So we are getting some information from the material master record as well. Okay. So if we have like this material master records, and then we have like situational data. Situational data is like how much quantity you need for this material. So this is the situational data. Which date you would like to deliver. Okay, any special discount you can have for this product or for this material during this period of time. So these are all situational data. So our transaction data consists of 3 different kinds of data. Number 1, organizational data. Number 2, master data. And number 3, situational data. If I say, please write down all these 3 in the chat box, would you please? That we have, this transaction has 3 different types of data. So we have organizational data, and we have master data and situational data. Okay. Thank you very much, Umar. Now, after the master data, we are talking about some analytics. Okay. Now, in our analytics, we have 2 types of databases. One is for transactional processing and other is for analytical processing. Can anybody say or tell me what we call the transactional processing database has some technical name, and similarly analytical processing database has a small technical name, Any idea about that? Maybe I can tell you one and you can figure out the second one. The first one is the OLTP. You know, OLTP is the transaction processing database. Can you tell me the other one for the analytical processing? Okay, it is OLAP. So we have two different kinds of databases. One we call it OLTP, and the second one is OLAP. One is for transaction processing, where we have all day-to-day entry. All the transactions are recorded in OLTP. And when we want to have a reporting, we transfer the data to OLAP. Okay, so we shift the data to OLAP, and then we process the data, and we get the analysis, we get the reports for our decision making. Now I have another question for you guys. Do we need to transfer all data from OLTP to OLAP for reporting purposes, or subset of data we need to transfer from OLAP to OLAP? Thank you, Umar. We need to transfer subset of data. Inshallah, we'll talk about that in the next maybe a few lectures or a few slides. What is the problem? What is the problem that we cannot have our analysis report, analytical processing on the OLTP server? What is wrong in that? Why we need to transfer the data from OLTP to OLAP? Any idea? Guys, there's only one guy who's answering my question. There's many people. I had a very interesting concept. If you don't know, so write down IDK. Yeah? I don't know. So I don't have to wait for you guys. This is the simplest answer which anybody can give. And then I will start explaining. You guys are not here to know everything, and I'm not expecting that you know everything. So I will ask you a question, and if you don't know, say I don't know. Okay. Yeah, OLAP is summarized data, very right. And then, OLTP is a transactional data. And why we cannot use that OLTP? One of the reason is the system will be very slow then. All the guys who are working on the transactions, who are recording the transaction, they might need a wait time of 1 minute, maybe, if all the processing is going on to that. So that is why they need to shift data from OLTP to OLAP for further processing. Okay. And second problem is that we have the OLTP data is stored in a row based, like in Excel rows. Okay. And in OLAP, the data is stored in a column based. Okay, so the column based is very good at reading, and because they're reading in a column, and writing is faster in a row based. So since we are writing the transaction, so more efficient is our transactional database, because we are writing very fast in a row, and reading is fast in a column. Okay. So that is also another reason. And if I say, what is the earliest time that we can get the report or analysis of what we are entering today? The earliest is tomorrow morning, because over the period of night, when the office will be closed, they will start their process. They will start summarizing the data for OLAP, and different rules, and everything will be into practice. And then in the middle of the night, the data will be transferred to OLAP for processing purposes. And the next day, when we'll come back to the office, we will see the data is available, and we will do our analysis on that part. So that is why we are having two different systems, one for transactional processing and one for analytical purposes. Any question, guys?
सर एक क्वेश्चन है, मतलब मिड ऑफ द नाइट डेटा को प्रोसेस कर दिया गया रिपोर्टिंग के लिए और ओलैप पे चला गया, कल को आगे कोई ट्रांजैक्शन अगर रिवाइज होती है तो रिपोर्टिंग गलत नहीं हो जाएगी वहाँ की, या फिर वो भी अगले दिन में कंपाइल होगी?
वो डेटा उसी तरह ट्रांसफर होगा, अगले दिन चला जाएगा, वो माइनस हो जाएगी अगर किसी ने रिवर्स किया ट्रांजेक्शन को, तो वो फॉर नेक्स्ट डेज। बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में तो मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली sometime over the period of time, over the period of night, मौका भी नहीं मिलता, might be one week later, but that's too much. I'm saying too much, but at least over the period of night they have to, and then they have to wait for another day. Now we have like list viewer, okay, and the grid control. Okay, this is another, these are just, reports that we can get from our OLTP, so you can get the list of data. You can, it could be a static list, could be a drill down list, you can just keep pressing and your information will be keep coming on the screen. So we do have a logistic information system. If you see here in the logistic information system, we have different reports available. These are the generic reports: sales information system, purchase information system, invoice, production planning information system, and then this is quality management and plant maintenance information and material warehouse management information, retail information. So many information systems are available. So all the reports will be from those from OLAP. Some information, definitely some information, such as any display of all the sales order, display of all the invoices, counting of all invoices. That is what we can get from our from transaction processing data. Different types of reports. You can pull the information from into the Excel. You can have some standard analysis. You can have warning system. If you have maybe the reorder level is, if it is below the line, it may throw an email to you, to the users. You may have flexible analysis. You can enter the values and see the output of the screen. What is so different values, different analysis. So this is available. Now, this is what we call, this is the OLAP part, guys. Now, as our Dr. Ijaz mentioned, that OLAP is a summarized data. And if you see here, the summarized data is like, so what kind of data is transferred from OLTP to OLAP? As per the SAP, there are 3 types of data. They are moving from OLTP to OLAP. First one, they call it characteristics. We have columns, they call it characteristics. You can say that these are the columns which are not used for the calculations. Okay, just like material number or material or vendors or plants or cities, countries. So anything that you cannot use it for calculation, that is what they call characteristics. Then you have a periodicity, any periods, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, quarterly. Those kind of values are available in that in that table. And then we have key figures. Key figures are the one that you can use for counting or calculating, adding, subtracting, multiplying. So these are the key figures that you can have. And this type of data is available in purchasing and sales and productions information systems. And by the way, in OLAP, we don't say tables. We call them infrastructures. So this is the infrastructure is for the purchasing. Okay, so almost all data like purchasing and sales and productions, they are having similar kind of information, yani characteristics, periodicity, and key figures. It is possible that we don't have the periodicity, but we do have the characteristics and we have the key figures. Any question here, guys? Another thing, guys, if you really need a break of 10 minutes, please let me know, and then we can stop for 10 minutes. At least you can have tea or fresh up or drink some water, and then we can come back. Ejazvi, can you throw some light on the materialized view?
जी तारिक भाई, वो मैंने पूछना था कि infrastructure is same like materialized view, is it right? Because these are not the tables. In all app terminologies, people are saying materialized views. Is it right?
Yeah, if that is the case, yeah. Actually, views. If you say views, then we have like SAP say information providers. So most probably this is similar terminology, like SQL queries, that we have the queries. They are not the real tables, but these infrastructures are the physical tables. Maybe it could be a semi comma separated file. It could be, you know, that kind of data is available in a normal folders. It's not available in, you can in a database or something like that. It's a collection of table in a separate folders. So information structure is a physical. Yeah. Views are there. Yes, you're right. Views are there. Maybe the SAP has a different different name for that. Most probably it will come in the next few slides, or then we'll talk about that. Inshallah. Jazakallah.
Thank you.
Jazakallah. Standard analysis, guys. Again, this is also available in the SAP. If you see, we have like top level, higher level information. When you double click on that, you drill down to the, you know, onto the transaction level. So this is also possible in our SAP online. And then we have some different functional areas. You can have a look on that. So this was the general concept of system-wide concept of ERP. When I say system-wide concept, you know, you have the whole big organization, and organization has different companies, and companies has different sales organization and plants and different. So that was the bigger picture. Then we have organizational data. Then we have master data. Then we have transactional data. And then we have some reporting solutions from SAP. So any question here before I move on?
No, sir.
Okay. We have, now we'll talk about business warehouse concept. We'll see business intelligence platforms we have from SAP, info source and data source, and then we have business objects. Okay. These are business intelligence platform. You know, text analysis, this is very interesting, text analysis. I got a chance to work on tweets. So we can process the tweets and we can see the trends, how people are talking. Mostly positive, negative comments are there. So you may get positive or negative feedback. So in different colors, So that is also possible. And one of the guy came from Germany. He was kind of expert. He says when Hillary Clinton and who was in competition with the Hillary Clinton? Is it Obama, and there was another guy. Who was there? Hillary Clinton, Obama, and there was another guy. Anyway, so they were having a speech, and debate was going on, and people were commenting on their, showing their concern and showing their opinion on the Twitter. So what they were doing is they were doing the live processing of those tweets, and those tweets were processed and they were available on their iPads. So after the answers, when they gave the answer of the question, the people start tweeting and positive, negative comments, and those comments and negative and positive comments were available on their screen immediately as soon as they finish the answer. So they get a chance to correct themselves or modify their answers in the next, in the next questions. So that was the power of text analytics, which they used in their elections, So yeah. So then we have like business platform like search and predictive analysis, real-time analysis, in-memory. So these are all, different platforms that you can use for improving your businesses or getting the intelligence of your businesses. This in-memory database is really a very interesting concept. Now, I believe Oracle is also tried this concept, and they brought some of the in-memory processing for their product. But actually, SAP, they brought whole database into the memory. So and they call it SAP HANA. So HANA database is available in memory. You can say that. And that contains, unstructured data, multimedia files, personal data, online contents. So all kinds of data, SAP Business Intelligence Platform is capable to process. So that is what we have from the now. This is the business warehouse standard architecture. We have the systems data available here. We extract the data, we stage the data. So from OLTP, we are doing the extraction and we are staging it to the OLAP. And then from there, we are doing the presentations, and getting the reports and displaying to the users, So that is what we are trying to do. So we can do analysis, data mining, or whatever you want to do from the OLAP. Another interesting slides from SAP. If you see here, these are the source systems. This is administrator workbench. It allows the administrator to control, monitor, maintain all data procurements. So we are purchasing data from the OLTP systems, getting data from OLTP systems. So that is what Administrator Workbench is managing. Then we have SAP Business Warehouse. This is SAP Business Warehouse. This is what you can say OLAP, staging all the information, historical data is available here. Then we have, this is Business Warehouse servers. And now this Business Warehouse servers, it has the info structures, info cubes. You can say that characteristics, data in characteristic format, data in key figures, the queries. And then we have the Business Explorer that is pulling the data from this. If you see here, this is what we have, info cubes. Info cubes is just nothing but a bunch of tables. So every cube, you can say that is a table. And all tables, whatever the reports we need, it is available. The data is available in all these cubes. This is the data stores. Data is available on different. So this Business Explorer, basically the presentation view, is getting data from this OLAP. And OLAP is getting data from our SAP systems. Either it could be a sales system or purchasing system or accounting system or manufacturing system. All the system we are running, all the modules we are running is producing transactional database, transactional data. We convert the transactional data to OLAP data, and Business Explorer is pulling the OLAP data for reporting purposes, for decision-making purposes. Any question here, please? Okay. Now, we have, this is info source and data source, okay? Data source is the one that is my transactional database. So this is all my transactional database. Now we have extraction schemes, extraction cell structures, because we are extracting some data. It could be, queries, transfer structures, that is transferring data from this OLTP to OLAP systems. And by the way, here the data is replicated, or duplicated, you can say that. So data is replicated here for our reporting purposes. And at the end, we got the info cubes. One info cube is more than enough for the reporting of anything which you. So for example, report A needs data. So all the data for that report will be available in this info cube. And this info cube is nothing but a folder that has different tables available. Is that clear, guys? Info object is a table. In simple term, you have Microsoft Access, it has tables. Oracle has tables. So this one table in OLAP system for SAP, they call it info object. And you have many tables, you can call them info objects. So in one cube, info cube, we have many info objects. So this info objects contains characteristics and key figures. Okay. Luckily or unluckily, we don't have the periodicity here. Otherwise, periodicity is also there. From the exam point of view, if they say what kind of data for the info objects, we can clearly say characteristics and key figures. So what are the characteristics? Any data that you cannot use for the calculation, plus minus. Sold to the party is the customer number. Cost center, again, is a number for your organization, cost center. Telephone number, postal code. So you can have the reports on these columns, but you cannot have, okay, get me the total sales for this postal code. That is possible. Any sales we have made to this telephone number, or for this customers. So I can get the, so these are for, you can say these are the attributes which we can use for our reporting purposes against these key figures. So key figure is the one that you can use plus minus, multiply, count. Quantities, you can add them up. Cost, sales revenue, you can do the plus minus. So safely we can say that info object is like a table in OLAP, and info object has two types of data, characteristics and key figures. And in characteristics, we have like many columns. In key figures, we have many columns. Any question here, guys? And now if you see here, we have an info cube. Now this info cubes has characteristics, key figures, and that's it. So all the characteristics, like for example, the customer and the company code and this is the time, and in the time when we say is a periodicity, like we should be having a date, something like that. So you can figure out quarter, daily, weekly, monthly. Then we have okay, we have a currency type, units. So these are all dimensions of the report, So I can have a report for a company code. For example, I'm having 3 company codes. So I can have a report on 3 different company codes. This is my fact table, guys. A fact table is a figure, key figures. You can have amount, you can have cost, profits, amounts, quantities, everything is available. Anything that is used for calculation is available in the fact table. So in you can say that in InfoCube, you have characteristics and you have fact table. Characteristics are the dimensions and fact is the key figures. Now, here we have, this is our, if you remember that, we have like physical data, and these are the views, which Ijaz was saying that materialized view. Yeah, you can say that. These are the view, logical views. So data is not available here. Even these views, like queries, they will be getting the data from the physical tables. Table can be, data can be in the form of text or attributes or hierarchies or ODS, data stores, object data stores, source systems like all our SAP systems. So this Business Explorer, this will process the data and present the report. If I just go back a few slides back, you see that the Business Explorer is displaying the data, okay, for decision-making purposes, is pulling the data from the OLAP. So OLAP from the queries as well as from the physical data. So if I just go back again, so you will see that this Business Explorer is pulling the data directly from the data source. This is my OLAP data source. Or it is pulling the data from the physical logical views, from the queries. And these queries are pulling the data from the physical views again. So either way, we are getting the data into Business Explorer for reporting purposes. Again, we have like business contents. I mean, like info cubes, queries and query views. And these are for to use in the reports. Again, Business Explorer is pulling data from OLAP, and then we have different displays, different reports, you can say that, which are consuming data with the help of Business Explorer. Or you can say that Business Explorer has different options, yani pulling the data into Excel, pulling the data to display on the web, then the crystal reports, or to the mobile devices. You're getting the reports on your mobile devices. That is possible through the Business Explorer. And Business Explorer is pulling the information from OLAP, from the physical, as well as using the logical data from the business warehouse. This is another example. You can say that business objects. When you say business object, basically reporting tools. Different reporting tools are available, some dashboards, some enterprise reporting like crystal reports or ad hoc queries. We have web intelligence, advanced analysis, predictive analysis. So different tools are available in SAP, and they call it business objects. So we have like a Business Explorer, and then we have like business objects. And another slide that shows you how the data is moving. If you see here, this is the ERP system. So all these information tools or in business intelligence tools are pulling the data from the ERP and also from the business warehousing. And this business warehousing is pulling the data from ERP systems and from third party as well, So is getting the data from third party, from the ERP, and then pumping data into the Business Explorer or business intelligence. This is the same explanation about your, the business object analysis and web intelligence and crystal reports, dashboard, what they do. I think we should stop here, and tomorrow we will continue with this lesson 5, inshallah. So if you have any question, please let me know so we can.
Assalamualaikum. Sir, just wanted to add.
जी अस्सलाम.
जी उमर कंटिन्यू कर ले आप. उमर कुछ पूछ रहे थे.
मैं सर ये कहना चाह रहा था कि अगर ये लास्ट टॉपिक है तो हम कर ही ना ले आज.
नहीं, बाकियों को भी पूछ लें. अच्छा, देखते हैं कि इसमें कितनी स्लाइड्स हैं हमारे पास. ठीक है, चलें इसको देख लेते हैं. जी आप अरसलान, आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे?
जी सर, बस जस्ट वांटेड टू ऐड, जैसे अभी आप जो बिजनेस इंटेलिजेंस का पोर्टफोलियो डिस्कस कर रहे थे, तो आई थॉट के थोड़ा सा मेरा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है अराउंड के, क्योंकि ये एसएपी सर आपको पता ही है, लोग एक्विजिशन जो है बेतहाशा हर साल में कंपनीज कर रहे होते हैं. तो इसी तरीके से ये क्रिस्टल रिपोर्ट्स जो बिजनेस ऑब्जेक्ट्स कंपनी थी, ये भी एसएपी ने एक्वायर किया था एज अ रिपोर्टिंग सोल्यूशन. देन उन्होंने उसको पार्ट बना दिया अपने सोल्यूशन का, और अभी कुछ सालों पहले दे आल्सो एक्वायर्ड another product that is called Lumira. तो अब क्रिस्टल रिपोर्ट्स को जो है लेटेस्ट जो वर्जन हैं उसमें इसको रिटायर कर रहे हैं एंड देन नाउ दे आर फोकसिंग टुवर्ड्स लुमेरा को, जैसे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट पावर बीआई को लेके चल रहा है, तो इसी तरीके से एसएपी जो है वो लुमेरा को अब जो है रिपोर्टिंग सोल्यूशन के तौर पे प्रमोट कर रहा है। तो थोड़ा सा अच्छा इन्होंने यूनिवर्सिटी अलायंस में लुमेरा की कुछ चीज़ें दी हुई थी, तो आई एक्सप्लोर्ड दोस, तो मैंने कहा आपसे थोड़ा शेयर कर लूं।
Yes, you're right कि इसी तरह ये जो बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं ये बजाय इसकी के डीप डाउन खुद जाएं, ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ही परचेज कर लेती हैं। अब इसी तरह एसएपी वालों ने एक डेटाबेस कंपनी को जो है वो परचेज कर लिया और उनसे जो है ना डेटाबेस बनवा लिया अपना हाना डेटाबेस जो है। तो इस तरीके से जो
एक
है
साइबेस, एक जमाने में साइबेस भी सर परचेज किया हुआ था इन्होंने, आई डोंट नो अब भी है इनके पास।
I believe yeah that was a Sybase if you're right। तो Sybase का जो भी डाटा बेस था वो उसको उन्होंने इन मेमोरी डेटाबेस में कन्वर्ट किया। तो इन मेमोरी डेटाबेस एक्चुअली ये इन्होंने शुरू किया था 2005 में। कुछ रिसर्च पेपर लिखे इनके जो इंस्टीट्यूट है हासु प्लेटनर जर्मनी में, और उसमें जो हेड है उनका वो एसएपी के बानियों में से भी है। तो बेसिकली तो उस पे उन्होंने देखा कि भाई इसको जो है हम अपने इन मेमोरी डेटाबेस के लिए कि तमाम इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो बजाय हार्ड डिस्क पे होने के क्यों ना इसको मेमोरी में रैम में डाल दिया जाए। तो उस पे उन्होंने कुछ रिसर्च पेपर लिखे, वो प्रोग्राम वो हिट हो गए और उस पर काम चलना शुरू हो गया, रिसर्च हुई, और अब ये जो हाना है ये बेसिकली उनकी उस पे है। तो उसके बाद फिर इनकी देखा देखी ऑरेकल ने भी जो है ना कोशिश की कि भाई हम किसी तरह इन मेमोरी डेटाबेस में घुसें और बाकी काम करें। तो जब से इन मेमोरी डेटाबेस आया है तो इसने जो है वो क्या कहते हैं हार्ड डिस्क डेटाबेस की जो है ना कदर कम कर दी है। तो अब बाय 2025 एसएपी ने कह दिया तमाम कंपनीज को कि हम जो है अब अपने हाना डेटाबेस पे इन मेमोरी डेटाबेस पे शिफ्ट हो जाएंगे। तो जो कंपनीज एसएपी सॉफ्टवेयर को दूसरे डेटाबेस के साथ चला रही हैं, ओरेकल हो गया या MS SQL सर्वर हो गया या और इस तरह के डेटाबेसेस हैं, हम उनको सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे। उसके बाद फिर वो 2025 की डेडलाइन है। हाँ जी, तो ये हम देख रहे हैं इसमें रियल टाइम सॉल्यूशन। ये जो एसएपी का जो रियल टाइम सॉल्यूशन है, एनालिटिक्स है, वो किस तरह पॉसिबल है। वो इसी तरह पॉसिबल है कि OLTP और OLAP को जो है उन्होंने एक कर दिया है। तो इनका जो हाना डेटाबेस है ये चूंकि रैम में है और रैम में बहुत फास्ट है, इन्होंने काफ़ी रिसर्च की, सोचा, देखा, भाला कि भाई कैसे किया जाए। तो इन्होंने देखा कि भाई जो रीड राइट है और जो रीडिंग है और जो राइटिंग है उनमें कितना फ़र्क है। तो पता चला कि OLTP पे जो है ना ये गालबन 89% जो है ना ये राइटिंग करते हैं। तो इन्होंने कहा अच्छा भाई देखते हैं कि हम OLAP पे कितनी राइटिंग करते हैं। तो पता चला हम 82% राइटिंग करते हैं, 6-7% का डिफरेंस था। तो उन्होंने कहा हम उस पर भी इतनी राइटिंग करते हैं, उस पर भी इतनी राइटिंग करते हैं, तो क्यों ना इसको मर्ज कर दिया जाए। तो अब ये इन्होंने यहाँ इसको जो है हाना में मर्ज कर दिया है। तो अब जितनी भी रिपोर्टिंग होती है उसके लिए हमें डाटा जो है ट्रांसफ़र नहीं करना पड़ता फ्रॉम OLTP to OLAP। So we just run the process and it get the latest data, even up to the last transaction that comes into the business analytics or decision making. There's one popular example, the guys, I'm not sure, it was a Walmart or something like that. They implemented SAP HANA and they found out that one of their product is not moving since long. So what they have done, before the meeting, they put that product on sale, and after 1 hour of the meeting, they found out that the products is moving, and it was showing the trend of its movement. So that is only possible because it was in HANA, and all the data was coming in real time. So this is what we can say, the real time analytics and then real time applications. They are running on the same platforms. So This is some, example of real-time analytics, like, predictive analysis, text analysis, and then real-time solutions. We have some softwares, and then platform is like database, mobile, cloud. It's available for all these platforms. Can anybody figure out what is this, screen that is displayed on this one? Very famous, guys.
Hard drive.
This is a hard drive. Yeah, you're right, hard drive. One of the oldest hard drive. How much was the size, by the way? It was 5 megabyte hard disk drive. So now if you look at the cost of cost per terabyte, in 1990s the disk for 1 terabyte disk cost $9 million. Okay, and 1 terabyte memory cost $106 million. I'm talking of 1990. Now in 2012, the cost per terabyte was $60 for the disk and $5,000 approximately for the RAM. Now imagine the speed. The disk speed is like 4 million nanoseconds. And look at the memory speed, 0.4 nanoseconds. So price is falling down and speed is going high. This was the main idea behind going to in-memory computing. Okay, so from traditional database to in-memory database is possible because of the lower price of the RAM and higher the speed. Now, look at the advantage of the speeds. This is our traditional database, OLTP. We are copying the data to operational data stores, extract, transpose, and transport and load, extract, transform, and load. And then it goes to the data warehousing, where we have to create the indexes. We have to do the aggregation. Then the queries will pull the data to get the query results. And the calculation engine will do the calculation. And then it will go for the, or you can say that this is the query result, or for the display. So this is our old database system. But now if you see at the HANA, we have the data. We have SAP HANA. Everything is done because we don't need the indexes. We don't need the aggregation because everything is in the RAM. So we can calculate at a runtime, and then we just get the query result. Now before, if you see, we were moving the whole data to data store, then we are moving the whole data to data warehousing, creating the indexing, creating the aggregates, and then going to the, even if you see in the applications that we were developing, what we were doing the all processing in our programs. What we do, we say select star from so-and-so table. So what we are doing, we are pulling all the data from the table, from the database, bringing them into the program, doing the processing, and then at the end, we are just displaying one line. Oh, this is the total of that. Or just one screen, few values we are displaying as a report. But if you look at the data traffic, movement of data from database to the application server. It was too much. And as select star was a killing. But now what is happening in HANA, they push down the calculation, they push down all the heavy stuff on the HANA. And where is HANA? Is in the RAM. So all the power is available here and it is available in the RAM. So calculation, it only sends the result. 2 values, 3 values, 5 values, 10 values. Whereas before we are pulling the whole table, but now we are just pulling the result, the query result. So this is the efficiency of using HANA, the in-memory database. So this is like different levels, we are using SAP HANA side by side, okay, for some real-time reporting, and we are using, then level 2 was we are doing some real-time processing before reporting, then we had some real-time processing as well. Then we got some solution on HANA, we have core solution on HANA, and now we are having real-time business, everything is on the HANA. So SAP ERP was powered by HANA, but now we are having SAP S/4HANA, yani purely available. And this, by the way, this is not just SAP S/4HANA is not like a product that we can say it was developed for ERP. It's a whole rewrite. Maybe if you might see some on the next few screens, you will see something again. Now we do have 2 different types of GUI I mentioned before. One was Fury and one was graphic user interface. So this is a Fury, how it looked like. You develop for one and you can use on different apps, different devices. Different line of businesses, we have like manufacturing, supply chain, R&D, assets management. Then we have like production, procurement, resales, finance. All are available for our new. This is again, Fury displaying in a different. This is again a screen persona for the Fury. You have like this kind of, this is the outlook. Now, if you see the difference of before, if you want to do one task, it needs 7 screens, 18 clicks, and 2 minutes. Now with SAP Fury, if you look at it, 1 screen, 1 click, and 3 seconds. You see? So it's not just we are using HANA as a database, it's a whole rewrite. So they rewrote the whole application and they made it more efficient. You can, before, instead of having data on different screens, you can merge them on 1 screen and you can work with that. And that's it for today, inshallah. Thank you very much for your time. Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Walaikum salam.
सर, ये इसका मटेरियल और स्लाइड्स वगैरह शेयर हो सकती हैं?
मैं आपको इसकी किताब शेयर करूंगा। उस किताब में आपके पास स्लाइड्स भी होंगी और उसकी डिटेल भी अवेलेबल होगी। इंशाल्लाह मैं आज जो है जिब्रान साहब को शेयर कर दूंगा, वो आपसे फिर आपको भिजवा देंगे। जी इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट क्लास जो है दैट विल बी ऑन सैटरडे अगेन, सैटरडे एंड संडे। So if you have no question, thank you very much. Hope to see you inshallah next week. अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। सुब्हानकल्लाहुम्मा व बिहम्दिका नशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू।